Okay, next question. My son is in a SPED class in LAUSD. He hates it and is really struggling. I sat in on class the other day and I am so angry. I feel like it is torture for these kids. The teacher leaves all of the kids' mics on all of the time, so they are all hearing every stim, every background noise in every household. I think this would make anyone stim more. What are my options? I feel bad for having forced him to do it for this long.
Well, for the foreseeable future, LAUSD is not going to offer anything other than its distance learning program. So your options are get out or try to force them to accommodate you better in the distance learning program. I mean, it seems possible that you would be able to ask them to unmic people and manage the noise better. Generally, what I'm recommending, though, for people if they're in a distance learning plan is to call an IEP, talk about what isn't working, and get the district to address the concerns and try to fix it. Because then if you want to do something different, you'll have the justification to do so. Something I'm going to say on the air, which gives me great pleasure to say, is that every parent that's at LAUSD and in special ed is pretty bummed out about it, at least the ones that talk to me. But what I say is, oh, I love LAUSD. And they're like, well, why would you say that? And I say, because they don't have the time to really defend their cases and they settle with almost everybody and they just don't have the energy to fight because they have too many battles. So if you're in LAUSD and you want to change it up, there's a pretty good chance that their IEPs are crap and full of mistakes. And we could have a whole meeting about LAUSD IEPs and how fun they are to pick apart. So you actually have options in LAUSD, but it's kind of said from a very lawyerly perspective, like, gee, Bonnie, you're saying it's great that LAUSD programs are so bad because it's so easy to sue them. But the answer is yes. And then, hopefully you're going to go to a non-public school or you're going to have some different kind of environment that's actually going to be more beneficial for your child. So I will go on loving LAUSD because every time I do one of their cases, I'm just like, wow, where did they get that?
Yeah. And it should be said, I mean, there are some school districts that I'm aware of, I'm not going to name names, that also provide, not great services and not great IEPs, and they spend all of their money defending it.
Yeah.
And that is a special ring of hell because your child isn't getting what you want and what they should be getting, what they legally have the ability to do. And instead of paying for your child to have the right services, they're paying lawyers these big retaining fees to fight you. And that to me is worse.
You get an interesting kind of synergy because some of these aggressive districts also have very aggressive attorneys. And some of these very aggressive attorneys, and I'm not sure I wouldn't name their name on the air. It might be fun to see what happens. But they give their clients bad advice that has the effect of providing the attorney with a bunch more work to do. I think the special ed directors feel beaten up by the system, and sometimes it's just like a relief to them to feel like some really aggressive attorney has their back. So I mean, I would be able to tick off a bunch of districts that are very litigious, and that involves doing things like filing cases against parents, reporting parents to DCFS, having SARB hearings. I mean, challenging parents when parents ask for an IEE and they file against them. So if you're in LAUSD, we have ways that we can help. And, we're not the only attorneys that can help. I think the consensus among attorneys is we'll take LAUSD any day over some of these other districts because, it's probably worth talking about the structure of LAUSD for a minute. It's interesting. They don't actually have attorneys that do the mediations. They have specialists that are former educators who know whatever they've learned on the job, but they're not attorneys. And so it's easier, I think, to go up against them. And also because LAUSD is so big, nobody takes any particular case personally. They're very removed from the school at which it happened, unlike in a small district. You go in there on a Monday and they've got their stack of filings for the week. like this. They
Yeah.
can't, they just have to like move the merchandise. They can't get personally attached to the result. So there's a huge impetus on their part to settle. And that really does work to the client's advantage. And I would say that we get among the best relief for clients in any district at LAUSD. They pay for more services and they pay more attorney's fees.
And it is the second largest school district in the world. It's big. It's big. And for those of you who are like, what is LAUSD? It's Los Angeles Unified School District. So that's
Thank you.
that's what.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.